Hi, ladies. I literally can't wait for our second Mycelial Entrepreneurial Network event online. Our first event was absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, amazing energy, amazing women, right? Beautiful frequencies, right? And it did feel like the nursery for the golden age, this new era of prosperity and abundance and peace and creativity on our planet, right? This is something that I feel so deeply connected to these days. And this is something that I feel so committed uh, today, right, and at this time, because of what's going on our planet, right? It's really hard to keep that external focus and feel elevated and inspired, right? We're going through such a huge shift, right? And the old stuff is falling apart in a very, very painful way, right? If we're empathetic, right, we empathize to all these people who are suffering from war, I'm from Ukraine, and it's like, it's so painful. So I found out that the best way I can contribute to creating something different and heal this planet and create that golden age, right? The frequency of golden age is by embodying it myself, right? Really focusing on that experience of golden age in my own body, right? Every day I bring myself back to that space, this internal space where it's like, I am a golden age. I am cultivating it within myself. I am bringing it forward now. I'm not waiting when it's going to happen, right? Otherwise, I feel affected by all this chaos that is going on right now in the world, right? So, and that's my intention for our community. We can co-create this space where we feel we can support each other. We can exchange these golden age frequencies, right? We can exchange this mycelial collaboration energy, supportive energy with each other, and really cultivate very deep relationship and bringing our gifts, our feminine healing energy together. It can feel like a collective field of golden age that we can co-create, right? So I wanted to make this video, and for those ones who missed the event last week, right? It was last Thursday, May 16th, I think. You need to show up for the second. It was so beautiful and it just felt so good. I felt like home. I felt home. I felt in this a sense of belonging. Felt of gratitude and deep connection with all the women who showed up. And I received amazing feedback as well, right? Women were glowing. They were so, elevated with each other's presence, with each other's energy. So I really can't wait for the second one. And I know many of you are joining the second one, and those ones who missed are joining as well. We're going to do it on Friday this time to accommodate some people who can't make it on Thursday. Thursday, so we'll rotate. So it's going to be June 21st. And it's going to be always at the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I know I wanted to invite some people from Australia and New Zealand. It's really hard to accommodate both Europe and Australia and New Zealand. So for now, we're focusing on this time. We'll see how we will expand in the future. So we also created Signal Group, this app called Signal. It's encrypted. It's a safe place where we can talk instead of having like Facebook group and all this. This is just on your phone, and you can share information about yourself. You can connect with other women right there. You can share ideas about our network, about the events. I just suggested that we have themes for each meeting. It will give us more flavor, more intention, more meaning for each meeting, and it can take us deeper into important topics, right? And the second suggestion is to do the interviews. So I would love to do these interviews with each one of you and really go deep into your story of who you are, what you experienced in this lifetime, what's your gift, how did you how did you end up doing this beautiful healing work that you are doing, right? So, and share some interesting stories, information about each other, about each other's work, right? So that's very exciting. So it's like a different kind of conversations. If you had interviews with me before, like I really like to go deep, right? And you see with this community, it's not just network, uh, normal network. We're really digging deep and we're expanding, we're creating. It's a creative process. So we're going to do that. So I will create a link for the interview. You can schedule an interview. And then I will share those interviews on YouTube channel that I created for our network. So everyone can watch a video about you, get to know you on a deeper level, maybe hear something about you that you haven't shared in breakout rooms or in the community because we have limited time. And it's just beautiful to have that, right? To have that access. It will be 24/7 access to that. And I would like to suggest the theme for next meeting. The theme for next meeting is leadership. Leadership of the golden age. So how, as a woman leader, as a woman entrepreneur, you would like to show up with this frequency of golden age, with that vision, with that intentionality, right? With that, with all the qualities, and how it is different in your perception from traditional leadership that we were taught before, right? And of course it's connected with entrepreneurship as well. In a way, we're all leaders because if you have your business, you lead, right? And beforehand you lead yourself, right? So how do you show up every day as a leader of yourself and the leader of the golden age and the leader in your business with that frequency of golden age, with that visions, like how you do things differently, right? And I'll prepare some questions, of course, for breakout rooms and to go deeper and explore and co-create, because this topic is really interesting for me because I don't have all the answers. Sometimes I wonder how I could show up better, or how I can sustain this frequency more consistently and more in a more focused way. So I don't even live in that external world anymore, right? All my focus is here on this, on what we are co-creating, right? So this question is really exciting, and I can't wait to hear your stories, your vision, your ideas. It's so valuable. I will share more in a Signal group. I invite everyone to join because, if you want to participate actively, you can, or you can just have access to all information in exchange that we have. I will share some links and resources there. So it's very convenient, right, to have that space between meetings. Now, a little bit more about this golden age experience. I wanted to share briefly about my experience of golden age and the leadership and just living in that place, because I feel maybe it will ignite some inspiration and ideas for you as well. For me, golden age is not just a vision, right? It's not something that I see like in the future. In a way, I feel it's like a visceral experience in my body. I can access it. I can access it through different meditations. And the first thing when I meditate, I bring myself there. Like I am there. I am already living in the golden age. And you might wonder, like, how you do it, because it's like a war in your country. Is like, my parents, my dad, my father still lives there, and my sister is in Ukraine as well, and her partner is at war. He just was deployed to like very dangerous area. So it's extremely stressful, right? And all this stuff is going on in the external world in the United States. And it's like, yeah, those frequencies, yuck, yuck. I don't like them. Yet, of course, we need to be informed about basic things. Yet I'm trying not to dwell emotionally in those places because it's not going to serve anybody, right? It just can drag us down, especially empathetic people. It's like you feel other people's pain. So every morning I wake up and I focus on the golden age, and I want to embody it. I am there. I feel it in my body. My body responds differently to that frequency, and the way I feel is like opening up and relaxing and being in the creative mode, and in a way being in timeless mode, right? Because when in this matter to matter kind of approach to life and business and relationship, it becomes kind of heavy, and it can become so compressed and tight in terms of time, right? It's like you have to do all these things within a short period of time, no matter how you feel. It's like how good of the work can be produced from the place of this tightness, of this pressure, of this stress, right? It's like, so I don't live there, and I found that the way my business works, like I do less, but I do it from the place of golden age, from the place of the heart, and I sustain that frequency. Things happen unexpectedly, right? Especially through relationships that I've built with people, with clients, with communities, with the followers, with friends, all over the world. It's just like somebody sends me a referral. I just started to work with new couple who are getting married, right? So they were sent to me through my clients, another couple that I worked with a while ago, who also, young couple who wants to get married and have this work done before they start their marriage life, right? So it's like I wouldn't be able to work hard to get this, right? It's already there in the field. It's more like me tuning in, and people feel like, oh, I remember Lana. It's like in the quantum field, they can remember me when I am in the same frequency, right? This is when I drop my frequency, then I can work hard and nothing happens. So that's part of this piece that I say, like living in the golden age now and leading business from the golden age now. The second piece I want to share briefly is that I remember this experience not from the past life, not from Akashic records, not from the ancestral memory, because we all kind of talk about that, okay, there was time of prosperity and peace. There was golden age on this planet already, whether it's other civilizations or, and I'm not sure if humans had that completely, but there were times of more prosperity and thriving in different parts of the world, right? Yet it doesn't come from that place. It comes from personal experience, actually. When I lived in Ukraine in my 20s, I remember this feeling, and I felt like it felt so good. And then like I've been there. It's like I don't even need to create like my future and the vision and try to tap into that experience that hasn't happened yet. I remember this time of prosperity. When I was around at that time and started my businesses, I felt, my country was thriving, and there were so many opportunities, and there were so many collaborations. And my father recently reminded me, it's like, it's not everybody was thriving. There was lots of corruption. There were lots of poor people still living there at that time. You were just in the different circles. You were surrounded by different people. It's like, well, yes, yes. And I chose to be part of those circles. I took action to be part of it, and took advantage of the opportunities that came my way when I was in this kind of expanded, empowered state. Skydiving really helped me to tap into that energy, right, of abundance and prosperity and more dynamic kind of lifestyle, right? Like adventures. And my friends were all entrepreneurs, and they had businesses themselves. So it's like especially when I was in Kiev, there was this kind of this Gen X, right? Still, I'm kind of old. And there was this golden youth. Like we even saw it as like, wow, this is like the entrepreneurs of the future, right? We are creating new country because we were the generation that emerged, when the Soviet Union fell apart. So it was there was this decade of prosperity and thriving economy in Ukraine with so many opportunities, and I was part of it. And I remember that feeling. It felt so good. It felt like, there is this episode in Star Wars when, mostly it's about wars, but there is this episode where they show this thriving planet and like everyone is like doing some kind of business. There is this commerce, thriving commerce, trade, production of different quality products, technology is thriving, beautiful restaurants, beautiful gardens, architecture, and it's just like everybody dressed in such beautiful. There is this king or whoever he was, like the leader of that planet, was dressed in this clothes. I was like, wow, I remember that feeling. I remember living that. It's like everything was moving so fast. There was lots of kind of dynamic energies, like, and this happens, and this happens. It's like, yeah, we're creating it. So I remember that. And I was like, wow, I can just bring it in and move it forward and live from that place every day, because it's another story, but I also went through the dark night of the soul to experience how that felt. My soul needed to know. And I am done with that. I did a lot of healing after that. And now I want to reintegrate this energy of the golden age from my own experience, from my vision, from my heart, from the field of collective consciousness that's still, recorded somewhere on this planet. And I know women who showed up in this space, the reason, I invited you, or some of the women that I invited, they invited you because you have that frequency of creative leadership, of creative entrepreneurship, of feminine, compassionate approach to business, to collaboration, that you have depth into you, right? Your soul is beautiful and deep and generous, right? So we want to cultivate that, right? So let's imagine our community being that thriving planet where we already live in the golden age, right? So, and it does feel that way. It's like even now, like receiving some messages on Signal. It's so inspirational. So it can feed us, like we can feed each other this way, just by generating this field. So this is what I wanted to share for today. Don't want to make it too long. And yes, I would love everyone who was invited to show up and enjoy it. There's so much more we can co-create. And one day I see us getting together in the physical place and having this golden age experiences in person, right? Connecting, maybe to some kind of retreat. So that's kind of a vision for the future. All right. So you're welcome to reach out if you need something or you want to ask something. I'll share all the links, and for the interview, I'll send a letter, preparation letter to those ones who RSVP'd. I ask you to RSVP because then you'll receive preparation letter, the Zoom link, everything is automated to save our energy, something that can be done that way. And yes, I can't wait to see you next time. And remember, our next theme is leadership of the goal.